here we go right here. All right, guys, this is the Kann part 3. So of course, today we're looking at the Panov. If you missed parts 1 and 2, you can catch that. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. Twitch, say hi to YouTube. This is part 3. We're looking at the Panov variation. So we're not going to look very deep. Well, of course, we're going to look at a few lines here in the knight c6 version of is what we're playing. And actually, we have some more chapters, but of course, that's for you to get the book. Use command Caro if you're watching it from Twitch, and in YouTube, you'll see it in the description. So here we go. Perfect. We're going to start from the Panov here. E4, C6, D4, D5. E takes D5. This is the Panov. Well, actually, in fact, this is the Panov starts first from the exchange variation. After captures, there's C4 now. Instead of, you usually would see bishop D3, which is the exchange variation. Well, this is the exchange variation, but it's like a bishop D3, like a more calm version of it. The C4 is Panov. Thanks for the follow. So knight f6 and knight to c3. And I actually play this from both. In fact, from both sides. I can play this from both sides, but from white, I have played this a lot. I'm actually very, very sharp from this from the white side. So it's cool seeing this, what they have in this book about it. So knight to c6, and then we have the chapter guide here. We're going to look briefly at this right here. Here we go. E4, d6, d4, d5, takes, c4, boom. Panov. What they're saying here, there's an isolated pawn. I want you guys to read this here. Right, this is very important stuff, but you're going to read it because that's why the book is for you to read. But of course, you can also look it up as well. It's an old line of the Kann, IQP, meaning isolated pawn. The pawn on d4 is isolated, but they want a lot of attacks. Black needs to figure out what to do, but he can get very sufficient play for the pawn if he knows what to do. Okay, so knight f6, knight c3, knight c6. You just put the knights out. It's very simple development. Let's see what it says. The key idea of black setup is waiting for white to play knight f3 so as to develop the light square bishop on g4. So when knight f3 happens, we want to play bishop g4. Pretty easy. With this move, black starts pressuring the d4 pawn and introduces d takes c4. Knight f3 is white's main continuation, although this is also a move that you're going to see. So we're going to look briefly at this bishop g5 move and knight f3, and then we're going to conclude there. Okay, so bishop g5, it's an aggressive move. It puts pressure on the d5 pawn here. They actually have two ways. D takes c4. D takes c4 is cool. You can take this pawn, but I actually want to show you guys this cool one. I'm actually going to skip over this d takes c4 part. You can look at this on your own time. I want to show this one. The bishop e6 one was super cool. I was like, oh, this is sweet. And I remember seeing this. I remember somebody doing this, or even like a high level game. I mean, watching with the bishop e6 part of this was insane. So let's go. Here it is, right here. Okay, so e4, d6, d4, d5, e takes, c4, knight f6, knight c3. Very simple. Develop bishop g5, and then here you go. You ready for it? Hold it, drop it. Bishop e6. That's a move. That is a move. You don't always do this kind of move. This is a move that, you know, you like, bro, what is this? Garbage. It's right in front of your pawn, right? This looks stupid, right? But bishop e6, let's talk about it. In fact, what does it say? This is an unconventional and modern approach which seeks to utilize the fact that white has played bishop to g5. The bishop on g5 prevents white from playing knight g5 to harass the bishop on e6, and also gives black a target to gain tempi against h6, or against, it says h6 and g5, 94. Black's most common follow-up with g6. Okay, if he is given the time to develop with bishop g7 and castle, the pawn on c4 will become a target, and black will always be able to respond to c5 with knight e4. Basically, this is a high-level move. Remember this move, bishop e6 is a flex on him kind of move, you know what I mean? Flex on him kind of move. Definitely not average. Thanks for the prime. Appreciate you guys. Can definitely sub free with Twitch Prime. Oh, hey, look at him using the emotes already. Appreciate you. Thanks for the prime. So bishop e6, nice move. And then here's the move from white. Bishop e2, a tricky idea. He wants to play bishop f3. I do know this from both sides. Bishop e2 is a tricky idea. You do want to put this bishop on f3 to exert pressure on d5. Okay. What's the next move after bishop e2? Oh, queen a5. This is an active move in many variations, or whenever you have the c file open. It's good to understand you can put the queen here. As you do that, you can start putting pressure on the d file as well, because we developed. That's why this bishop e6 move is extremely important as well. Queen a5 played, knight f3, natural development move. D takes c4. That's a nice move. And then castles and rook d8. Here's the position after rook d8. We got pressure on d4. Objectively, we still need to castle. So let's see how we handle that. Queen to c1. Okay. h6 hits the bishop. The bishop backs up. And they end right here on knight to d5, which says black is ready to finish his kingside development, and white is unable to generate active play due to black's firm grip on the center. So I think play would probably continue, maybe like knight takes d5, bishop takes c4. You can also use stockfish here too to play around with the engine. What happens if knight takes? Oh, we take with the bishop. What happens if bishop takes? They say, oh, take on f3. Right, now he's looking crazy and play probably e6, which is nice. Get the bishop out. This is the plan. And then you can come back to this position again with the knight on d5 and keep going. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Of course. Okay, so this is the big part. This is the last part. In fact, right here, this is actually the most common you're going to get. The most common you're going to get right here is actually this one right here. So the other one with bishop g5 you will face, which that's there for you. We're going through the moves. But the one you're actually going to face a lot is this one. Bruh. Knight f3. This is a natural move. This is the one I actually play. Well, I played a lot of this actually. Knight f3 and bishop to g4. This is going to get very complicated, but you need to understand, right? Bishop g4 is the move. You develop it all the time. Bishop g4. Black goes bishop to g5. They also talk about a bishop e2 move, a bishop e3 move, right? An h3 move. Like, you want to make sure you're looking at the subtext in here. It's very important. Like the subtext, very important. Okay, but bishop to g5. Okay, so after the bishop to g5 move, we answer with queen a5 again. You see how active this move is? a5 is very active. Taking c4 dangerous. We can give him the ISO. You can give him. You can actually do d takes c4. It's very possible. This book's actually recommending queen a5, and there is a d takes c4 option. Maybe not right here though. Not on knight f3. There is some tricks with d5. On the other line with bishop g5 without the knight on f3, then yes, probably. But here it's a little different because the knight's on f3. Strange. Queen a5 though. Queen a5. This is a way to deal with white's knight e4 threat. Oh, now knight e4 is a threat. I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, knight e4 is a threat. We want to put pressure on the knight, so knight e4. Black plays bishop takes f6. We take back with the e-pawn. Makes total sense. The bishop's going to develop. h3 kicks the bishop. We take on f3. Queen takes f3. What do we do? Take this back or bishop b4? This is hanging. Knight's hanging too. Interesting. A lot of play here. D takes c4 now. Says black simply resolves the tension in the center and prepares to play his pawn structure. The dark squares are a key strength for black. Interesting. Queen e3 check. And they said if bishop takes, castle queenside, because that's definitely going to be something that he does. d5, knight e5, queen e2. Gave black a great position in this game here. Queen e3 check. Bishop e7 blocking. Bishop takes c4. Now we just probably castle. Correct. Castles. Maybe a rook to the file. Correct. And then bishop b4. And what does it say? Equals once more. White's pawn on d4 is far from threatening and so position is equal. So as you see here, we have seen nothing but really kind of the equal positions here. Nothing too sharp. Nothing too razor sharp. As you will see here in the Caro Kanns, and a lot of them do favor obviously the black pieces. You get equal games where you can play simple chess in this. And this is a lot of following the themes of the Caro Kann. Of course, this is a little bit on the Panov today. Of course, you guys do have to get the book yourselves to cover more of it. Obviously, because we have an obligation to cover only so much of the book. So we're going to do part 4 tomorrow. Make sure you guys are watching the videos. And we'll see you guys on the next video.